Hi everyone, Corinne here, Chief Analyst of PV InfoLink. As we know, many of you were unable to attend this year's SNEC in Shanghai. We write a report and make a video this time to keep you updated on the movement in the PV industry during the exhibition. I will divide the content into 4 parts. The first part is the China demand in the second half of the year, and whether skyrocketing polysilicon price will go down if demand weakens. The 2 topics were the most discussed during the exhibition. Then I will guide you over the products displayed at SNEC show. The third part will be about special topic in the SNEC, such as BIPV and energy storage. Finally, I will conclude this report with the market movement and the technology trends. We will now start from the China demand. Prior to SNEC, China's National Energy Administration issued a notice ruling the projects that fail to connect to the grid by the end of the year will be administered by energy authority in each province and include into the guaranteeing grid connected capacity in the next year. This means that grid parity projects approved earlier are allowed to postpone for the grid connection until next year. Compared module purchase with the price close to RMB 1.8 per watt this year, with the module they are likely to be priced around 1.55 to 1.6 next year, and coupled with an estimate RMB 1 cent reduction in applicable electricity price next year, this project's IRR should recover. In light of this, some utility scale projects in China might be postponed. Having said that, most developers of grid parity projects is the China state-owned companies. They must make their installation targets. So we believe that only some projects will be deferred. For now, it remains to be seen how many projects will be postponed. So we only revised down forecast for China demand slightly from 55 gigawatt at the beginning of this year to 50 gigawatt now. In fact, such a demand level is significantly lower than the 60 to 65 gigawatt forecast by many manufacturers at the beginning of this year. Some industry professionals have pessimistic views. They are afraid that demand might end up lower than 40 gigawatts and cause the industry to collapse. But we believe that this is not likely to happen because China's state-owned companies will try to meet their target. While the notice published by NEA mentioned that wind and solar have a combined guaranteeing capacity to 90 gigawatt this year. So our interpretation is the notice set a cap for the industry, meaning that polysilicon price of now RMB 220 per kilogram versus module price around 1.8 RMB per watt is the limited for downstream players. They are unable to accept any price increases. Although we revised down the forecast for the China demand, we noticed that demand in the United States and Europe are stronger than expectation in the first half. As shown in the China customs data, dating from the January to April, exports for Chinese module and cells stood at 27 gigawatts, while export from Southeast Asia to United States also remain high. Therefore, our forecast for full-year demand stays unchanged at 155 gigawatts. The figure comprises 50 gigawatts from China and 105 gigawatts from non-China regions. So recently, for the important topic is the attitudes of United States and Europe toward Xinjiang-made polysilicon continues to draw the world's attention. In the United States, the influence of the Xinjiang issue has extended to the cornerstone mining sectors, silicon powder, and industrial silicon manufacturing since May, with Xinjiang being the global capital of the silicon powder and the industrial silicon. More uncertainty are posed to the future of the entire PV supply chain. It is reported by the United States sanctions against the Xinjiang issue will take effect in the second half or in June, which we believe will not only affect projects in United States, but also those in Europe. It is still difficult to estimate the degree of the impacts as documents required after implementation remain unknown. However, price difference between Xinjiang-made and non-Xinjiang-made polysilicon are foreseeable. The decrease in polysilicon price next year cannot be estimated with the local total production polysilicon capacity output. Another topic is production capacity of major manufacturers in India, Vietnam, and Malaysia have been affected by the pandemic. Some plants in India and Beijiang province of Vietnam were even closed, temporarily affecting module supply to India and United States. This is the demand part. So the next, we will look at the modules. Firstly, we will compare the mainstream PERC products promoted by the top 6 largest module makers. This time, the top 6 doesn't include Hanwha Qcell because they didn't participate in SNEC this year. Unlike last year's edition where manufacturers introduced a wide variety of the module featuring high power output at different sizes. This year, most manufacturers display the next generation products. They are ready to be commercialized. As per our observation, PERC modules are mostly rated at 550 to 660 watts, and they come with the 60, 66, 72 cells layout. Some manufacturers introduce small format module rated at 400 and 450 watts for the rooftop sector. If applying 210 wafers, N-type module can boost the power output as high as 700 watts. They are also small format for the N-type module rate beyond 400 watts for the rooftop market also. However, we believe that it's difficult to acquire large wafer with stable quality for N-type due to the polysilicon shortage. Thus, it will take until the second half of next year for the N-type products to size up in the large volumes. Now, let's look at wafer size. LONGi, Jinko, and JA Solar stick to the 182 format. They only displayed 182 modules at the exhibition. And Trina only displayed 210 modules. Canadian Solar showcased PERC module base 210 and 182, as well as 182 heterojunction module. Ryzen also showcased 210 modules only. Meanwhile, quite a few foreign players have concern over total elimination of 166 format last year. Indeed, utility projects will rapidly shift to the large format modules, but 166 modules will be used in the rooftop market. And so they will still account around 23% of the market share next year. Next, we look at the N-type product plans of the top 6 module makers. On the first day of exhibition, LONGi launched its first TOPCon products. The company indeed has 3 gigawatt TOPCon expansion in China. LONGi entry into TOPCon caused the market to favor TOPCon rather than heterojunction last year. Several new PERC production lines have been reserved for the TOPCon upgrade. A few manufacturers such as ICO have announced to expand capacity for N-type only and no more PERC. And Jinko is the only top 6 manufacturer that has been mass producing TOPCon modules steadily this year. This indicates P-type products have better cost performance and thereby enjoying advantage over N-type products. On the other hand, Trina and JA Solar both showcase the 2 technologies, but their heterojunction are basically in the R&D stage. Originally, Trina had TOPCon production lines, but was temporarily closed for the relocation this year. Among heterojunction manufacturers, Canadian Solar made a special move recently. It launched heterojunction module on 182 production lines. And Ryzen announced new technology that claimed to combine heterojunction and TOPCon. However, we believe this technology is still in the testing phase. Major vertical integrated companies still embody large order PERC production capacity, and thus were not likely to see market advance toward heterojunction too soon. Therefore, in recent 2 years, the promotion of TOPCon products will focus on TOPCon technology, which can be upgraded from the existing PERC production lines. We estimated that market to see more than 15 gigawatts TOPCon production capacity last year, and heterojunction capacity expansion will be less than 8 gigawatts. Following these slides will be compilations of product size and the power ratings we saw at the exhibition. We observed that apart from the top 6 manufacturers, they have clear direction for the wafer size. Other manufacturers displays both 182 and 210 products to emphasize their production lines compatibility of the different sizes. Just like last year, PERC module mostly feature half cut and non-destructive cutting technique, paired with high density packing such as narrow spacing, tailing, normal spacing, and the plate coupling layout this year. On the other hand, Huanshen and Tongwei still display single module this year. N-type products displayed this year indicated an increasing number of the TOPCon manufacturers. New PERC cell production lines installed this year and next year are earmarked for the upgrading of TOPCon. It seems that TOPCon cells are easier to be cut into half than heterojunction. This means that heterojunction needs to narrow the gap of the cost and overcome technical barrier to compete with PERC and TOPCon and size transition. Overall, global N-type production output is around 6 gigawatts this year. This explains why the utilization rates of the product last year are not high or even in the preparation phase. And this page is others N-type modules. Now let's take a look at the module displayed at the exhibition. This page is the TOPCon module. So we can see here is 700 watts or close to the 700 watt here. And this page is the heterojunction higher than 700 watts for two-way single module. And there's also have some back contact modules. And of course, PERC module. This year sell fewer displays of cells. Also, ICO showcase a piece of the big contact cells. We were not allowed to take photos. We only got information they shared during the dinner party. On the whole, Tier 1 cell and module makers are gearing up for the N-type, but they are also watching closely the performance of the cost, efficiency, and the yield rate of the Tongwei's 1 gigawatt heterojunction and Longji's 3 gigawatt TOPCon expansions. While quite a few manufacturers have TOPCon capacity expansion plans, the equipment selection of the TOPCon is rather complex. At present, both LPCVD and the PCVD have pros and cons. Although manufacturers are more likely to choose PCVD, attitudes towards PCVD capacity expand were rather conservative now because the LPCVD is relatively mature. Now we will quickly scan through other highlights of exhibition. Here's BIPV. BIPV used to be dominated by thin film modules, but since last year, most Chinese manufacturers start applying silicon-based module with aesthetics or easier to install solutions to promote BIPV, such as frameless dual glass design and color code glass. On the right side, you can see the BIPV products introduced by Longji, Jinko, Trina, Solar Giga, and Sunport. And with China's effort to achieve emission peak and carbon neutrality, energy storage became a highlight this year. We saw more PV manufacturers introducing energy storage solutions than previous year. Apart from lithium battery manufacturers and large inverter manufacturers, including Huawei, Sungrow, Huawei, lots of companies, vertical integrated companies including Jinko, Trina, Ryzen, Chint, GCL, Haitai Solar also features energy storage solutions. InfoLink sub-brand ESS InfoLink has launched energy storage market report. Just like PV InfoLink, our energy storage analyst has rich experience in the industry. To learn more about our analysis and research on ESS, feel free to contact us via the email on the last slide. Now I'm going to conclude this report with few points. For the supply demand side, as inventory accumulates each month, we project that global module inventory level has reached a new high, coming in at 25 to 30 gigawatts. Risk grow along with the low module orders in China and overseas markets in Q3. During the exhibition, major cell manufacturers seized procurements of the wafer amps high price. Meanwhile, development of utility scales project and module makers underwent price negotiation. As a result, the wafer to cell and module to end users deadlock are likely to temporarily endure in the first half of June. Currently, polysilicon and wafers still see the short supply, and thus prices are expected to be reflecting the upstream sector soon, are not expected to be reflected in the upstream sector soon. If utility scale projects in China manage to strike deals at RMB 1.75 to 1.8 per watt after negotiation, recent price will be equilibrium, helping to stable sale and wafer price. However, if polysilicon price rise due to the maintenance in Q3, profits of the wafer sector may be diminished. For the product size and technology development, this year, utility scale projects in China and overseas markets start to choose module rate at around 535 to 550 watts. Examining that the modules showcased this year, 210 module may feature 6 cell strings to reach 600 or 660 watts. 182 module next year, which mostly features 72 cells and rated 535 to 550 watts, may also apply 78 cells layout to bring power output to near 600 watts. For now, the competition remains between 182 and 210 alliance. The industry will not move the next generation wafer size soon. Mitigating impacts on the size compatibility of the PV plants caused by the rapid shifting in the module size. Moreover, it appears that 166 size will stay in the market for a while, and they will account a certain share of in the rooftop market next year. Technology-wise, module assemble varies in detail, except JA Solar applied little space. Overall technology stays pretty much unchanged from last year. In terms of cell technology, the price gap between TOPCon and the PERC module is above $1 per watt. For now, the gap is wider with heterojunction, so the cost remains a major issue for the N-type technology development. This is the conclusion of our SNEC report. If you wish to learn more about SNEC or our service, feel free to contact us via the email on this slide. Thank you and see you next time.